What's up, clarinets? Today we're going to be talking about what your fingering chart is and how to use it and some special scenarios for you. So if we're looking over here, they show you what buttons correspond to these things on the fingering chart. Now gets pretty complicated, so we're going to start off looking at a simple example. So we're just going to look at these ones back here. That's going to be your thumb hole, and that's going to be your register key right here. So thumb and register key, those will be the ones on the top left side. And then we've got this one here, and this one here. Those are going to be your three holes on the front, 1, 2, 3. And then these 1, 2, 3 are going to be these holes on the bottom, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's look at a simple example. For example, let's look at a D. Okay, so D, these show you where the note is on the staff. For example, D is right below the first line. It tells you what the note's called, D, and then it shows you how to play it. All three things you need to memorize for notes. So you can see black means we press it down and white means we don't press it. So if I play D, I can see that I have to press my thumb, not this key, but the thumb hole, and then I have to cover the first two holes with my top hand, which is going to be my left hand, and then I leave everything else open. I don't press it. Okay, so this is the fingering for D. Okay, now that's a simple example. Clarinets can get into a lot of different buttons. So we have our side buttons here, which would be represented by dots. There's 4 of them. So if the bottom dot was open, you press this. The third dot, you press this. The second dot, and the top dot. Okay? With your right pinky, if we're looking at this, if this top right one was black, you press this. If the bottom right one was black, you press this. Bottom left, that. Top left, that one. And then with our left pinky, we have these kind of fanning out ones. They look like this. The inside one closest to the clarinet, it would be the left one right here. Okay, the top one would be this one. And then the rightmost one would be the outer one right here. We also have these little, I call them banana keys. Those will be black. They're right here and right here. If we use them, for example, like right here, you can see that that uses it. And then we have our top keys right here. We have our top one, which would be our A key, and then this side one would be our G sharp A flat key. Okay, there's a lot of keys on a clarinet, but mostly we're concerned right now with this one, thumb hole, this one, this one, this one, and then these 3 on our right hand. That's mostly what we're going to be playing for right now. Okay, but let's also look at, sometimes there's different ways to play notes, and sometimes notes are called different things, but they're the same note. So let's take a look at D sharp and E flat. D sharp and E flat are the same note. They're called enharmonics. Okay, and there's also 3 ways to play them. The first way your fingering chart shows you is the most common way to play it. Okay, so the most common way to play a D sharp or E flat is with the thumb pressed, these 2, and then look, we see we have our 4 dots, and it's the bottom one that's lit up, so you're going to press this one with the inside of your right finger, okay, and that's how we would play an E flat. You can also play it thumb 1, 2 with your left hand, and then the little banana key right here. We can also play it with thumb, first finger, and then the first finger on our right hand. So those are the 3 ways to play it. The first one is the most common, but you need to know the other ways to play it. Now, we won't run into these kind of notes for a long time, but just wanted you to be aware of them. Okay, and we can see that it goes all the way up, and it goes from low notes here to high notes. Now, this is a little more complicated than you'll see in your actual book when you're playing songs and they're teaching you notes, but this has just about every note that you could want to play on the clarinet. So just want you to be aware of how to use it. Remember, black means you press it down, and white, clear, open means you don't press it. Okay, so that's the fingering chart.